Dear Chartered Accountants, working professionals, and students in the domains of Indian auditing, accounting, and the tax and regulatory space, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing Chartered Accountant. Hot Topic Bulletin on Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023. The Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 was passed by the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday after most opposition MPs staged a walkout. The bill was supported by members of parliament from the NDA, the Biju Janata Dal and the YSR Congress Party. The bill sets out norms for data processing digitally for firms, creates a mechanism for resolving disputes and provides for creation of a Data Protection Board of India. Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnaw said that these provisions would be put into motion over the coming 6 to 10 months, although it may happen faster than that. For the benefit of all of you, I am going to share the salient features of this new bill in this podcast. The bill provides for processing of digital personal data in a manner that recognizes both the rights of the individuals to protect their personal data and the need to process such personal data for lawful purposes and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. The bill protects digital personal data by providing for the following. Here, personal data means the data by which a person may be identified. Number 1. The obligations of data fiduciaries for data processing. Here, data fiduciaries means persons, companies and government entities who process data. Here, data processing means collection, storage or any other operation on personal data. Number 2. The rights and duties of data principals. Here, data principals means the person to whom the data relates. And number 3. Financial penalties for breach of rights, duties and obligations. The bill also seeks to achieve the following. Number 1. Introduce data protection law with minimum disruption while ensuring necessary change in the way data fiduciaries process data. Number 2. Enhance the ease of living and the ease of doing business. And number 3. Enable India's digital economy and its innovation ecosystem. The bill is based on the following 7 principles. Number 1. The principle of consented, lawful and transparent use of personal data. Number 2. The principle of purpose limitation. Here, purpose limitation means use of personal data only for the purpose specified at the time of obtaining consent of the data principal. Number 3. The principle of data minimization. Here, data minimization means collection of only as much personal data as is necessary to serve the specified purpose. Number 4. The principle of data accuracy. Here, data accuracy means ensuring data is correct and updated. Number 5. The principle of storage limitation. Here, storage limitation means storing data only till it is needed for the specified purpose. Number 6. The principle of reasonable security safeguards. And number 7. The principle of accountability. Here, accountability is through adjudication of data breaches and breaches of the provisions of the bill and imposition of penalties for the breaches. The bill has few other innovative features. The bill is concise and SARAL, S-A-R-A-L, that is simple, accessible, rational and actionable law as it A. uses plain language, B. contains illustrations that make the meaning clear, C. contains no proviso or provided that, and has minimal cross-referencing. The bill, by using the word she instead of he, for the first time it acknowledges women in parliamentary lawmaking. The bill provides for the following rights to the individuals. Number 1. The right to access information about personal data processed. Number 2. The right to correction and erasure of data. Number 3. The right to grievance redressal. And number 4. The right to nominate a person to exercise rights in case of death or incapacity. For enforcing his or her rights, an affected data principal may approach the data fiduciary in the first instance. In case he or she is not satisfied, he or she can complain against the data fiduciary to the Data Protection Board in a hassle-free manner. The bill provides for following obligations on the data fiduciary. Number 1. To have security safeguards to prevent personal data breach. Number 2. To intimate personal data breaches to the affected data principal and the Data Protection Board. Number 3. To erase personal data when it is no longer needed for the specified purpose. Number 4. To erase personal data upon withdrawal of consent. Number 5. To have in place grievance redressal system and an officer to respond to queries from data principals. And number 6. To fulfill certain additional obligations in respect of data fiduciaries notified as significant data fiduciaries, such as appointing a data auditor and conducting period data protection impact assessment to ensure high degree of data protection. The bill safeguards the personal data of children also. Number 1. The bill allows a data fiduciary to process the personal data of children only with parental consent. And number 2. The bill does not permit processing which is detrimental to well-being of children or involves their tracking, behavioral monitoring or targeted advertising. The exemptions provided in the bill are as follows. Number 1. For notified agencies in the interest of security, sovereignty, public order, etc. Number 2. For research, archiving or statistical purposes. Number 3. For startups or other notified categories of data fiduciaries. Number 4. To enforce legal rights and claims. Number 5. To perform judicial or regulatory functions. Number 6. To prevent, detect, investigate or prosecute offences. Number 7. To process in India personal data of non-residents under foreign contract. Number 8. For approved merger, demerger, etc. And number 9. To locate defaulters and their financial assets. The key functions of the board are as under. Number 1. To give directions for remediating or mitigating data breaches. Number 2. To inquire into data breaches and complaints and impose financial penalties. Number 3. To refer complaints for alternate dispute resolution and to accept voluntary undertakings from data fiduciaries. And number 4. To advise the government to block the website, app, etc. of a data fiduciary who is found to repeatedly breach the provisions of the bill. We all know that data is the new gold. Hence, this new bill is definitely a welcome move. Hats off and thanks to the government for getting this bill through for us. This bill will help bring in the much required rules to protect us and bring India's legal landscape on this matter at par with other developed nations. This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.